Ladies and gentlemen, hailing from Cleveland, Ohio, I give you BVO.
The JBT is back at it again.
Ladies and gentlemen, hailing from Cleveland, Ohio, I give you BVO.
Oh, we boxing? Yeah, we boxing. I need that belt like it ain't no other option. So we punching and weaving and blocking. Defeat ain't an option. Let them know. Shoot a video, put it on BVO. Let them know. Every time I punch, it's a heavy blow. BVO, bound to hit like bricks cause it was set in stone. Let them know. I ain't getting body, but I'ma hit this flow. Yeah, way more than a show. This is BVO.
The JBT is back at it again, y'all. This time, amazing raffle for the holidays. You know, replenish the pockets. Sometimes things go grim and, you know, you spend a little bit more than you anticipated, but we're here to help you out. $5 will get you in, $20 will get you in 5 times for winner takes half. Hold on. I didn't know that was the details, y'all. Hold on. Cut.
Hey, Remo.
Hey, yo, Karen, why y'all ain't let me know that the prize was winner takes half? Now, this is dope.
It's been running for some time now, silly.
Is JBT a content creator ought to get into this?
Absolutely not. Are you crazy?
No.
Nope.
Wow, that's crazy.
No content creator, just JBT supporters, sorry.
Whatever. Bye. Like I was saying, $5 will get you in 1 time, $20 will get you in 5 times. Winner takes half. You can't win if you don't play, man. Jump in the raffle. JBT Network 1 is the way you get in. Leave your name and the means of contact. And enjoy the holidays on us, JBT.
Ho, ho,
Peace.
ho, Merry Christmas.
What it do? Back with another episode of BBO Boxing. And got the homie Prize up here. What's going on with your Prize?
Ain't nothing, man. I just came back from my union meeting. I'm on my way back to my spot now. What's up with you?
Ain't nothing. What's going on, Thomas Hill?
T Hill.
You already know you got the best hand, man. I'm just trying to learn how to play mine, bro. Got Prize Fighter up in here. Just got back from the union. Keep us connected, man. Look out for the better interest of us all. And shout out to the man, the myth, the legend himself, DC's finest. Got my main man, D Frizzle, my Mickey Friggy Nizzle. Shout out to CDO. I don't see him nowhere, but I think it might be Family Day. So shoot out.
Hey, I wanted before we get on the main topic, I wanted to talk about some stuff that I saw came out yesterday. So there's word that Tank Davis team is talking to Bob Arum and trying to make that fight for Keyshawn Davis in 2025. What y'all think about that?
I'm with it. Go ahead, T.
Go ahead, Bryce.
Take off, T. Go ahead, T. Take off.
First, man. All right, so this is what I think, bro. I think Tank, when he's frustrated or when he feels like he's been crossed, say some stuff that just ain't so. Because he just frustrated or he might be emotional at that time, going through some issues. Sometimes when he say people ain't done nothing or nothing like that, I guess that's like a clue saying people who want to make the fight will take the fight. So they not bringing what I bring to the table. They can't claim a high number if they ain't never made that type stuff. So I think he be talking in code. It's nonsense all the way around because, hell, if he were to fight somebody like Shakur would clearly be the best fighter that he has fought, the most accomplished one, with the exception of those. What is it? What's my man's name? He fought at 30.
Leo Santa Cruz.
Santa Cruz. I keep saying Dos Santos, but Santa Cruz. So okay, so we take that off the table. This is why it makes a lot of sense. For one, Bob is a hoarder of belts. Bob would love to take and add that WBA to his title, his stable. I mean, also, there's a lot of buzz going around Keyshawn. Now, if Keyshawn go out there and fight Baranchik and actually put on a show, it'd be even more of a buzz. He already got another like caveat that really is a bigger play to me is that he could stick it to Shakur. Now we know that he never wanted to make the fight with Valdez. He never wanted to give Shakur pretty much the fights that Shakur really wanted to fight. And that would elevate him on his stature as far as in the boxing ranks. And now that he's no longer there, what better thing to do than to take his best friend and give him the opportunity of a lifetime, and that's a fight that they negotiate with Tank Davis. So Bob petty like that. Bob do people like that kind of dirty. So like that also is a plot twist. And then on the strength that I want to see what light skin energy really is. My man that was dropped, he said he was light skinned. He acting light skinned, and light skins don't get down. So I want to see if he get in a ring with light skin, will light skin make it night skin, if you know what I mean.
Well, I feel like this. I feel like if they're gonna try to make that fight, that's fine. And just what T just said. If Tank fight Devin, Shakur, Keyshawn, any one of them guys, clearly they're the best opponent to date for Tank Davis. So if he does it, cool. I'm with it. Keyshawn, I feel like he just needs to handle some business first. I feel like he needs to go get that belt so he can have a little bit more leverage. But I hope the fight happens because like T just said it. He just said it. He just said that Bob didn't really want to give Shakur the Valdez fight. So, but it's like soon as Terrence Crawford tried to sue him, next thing you know it, they threw him Valdez. So we'll see.
Yeah, I mean, I'm looking at it from a different angle. Because it's going to be after Keyshawn fight Baranchik for that belt, for that the WBO belt. Yeah, it's going to be after that. What I'm looking at, and it's going to be after the Lamont Roach fight. What I'm looking at, is it going to be some type of fallback if Keyshawn gets that fight before Shakur, because we know these two dudes, they brothers and whatever. But I think if Keyshawn gets the opportunity to get that bag before Shakur gets, and let's just say hypothetically, Keyshawn goes out there, he beat Tank Davis. Keyshawn automatically catapults past Shakur. Shakur is no longer the big brother no more. He falls to the little brother. So does that have a fallout between Shakur and Keyshawn if Keyshawn happens to get that fight and he somehow beats Tank Davis?
That would be crazy, Free. That he would be the little big brother. But again, Keyshawn got a promoter that is willing to make the fights happen. It seemed like Bob Arum looking like he's just ready to just try to cash everything out and then go off into the sunset. But Keyshawn just needs to focus, like you said, Free, on Baranchik and get that WBO, then talk your ish. But if Keyshawn get the fight first, that would be Eddie Hearn's fault. I wouldn't be surprised if Keyshawn did get the fight with Tank before Shakur do, because Tank clearly doesn't want to deal with Turkey and them all them guys. So he probably be like, man, I'll take the Keyshawn fight with Top Rank. You know what I'm saying? So I would not be surprised, Free and Thomas, that if Keyshawn will get the Tank fight before Shakur, I would not be surprised. Not at all.
Tommy, how you feel about it?
For myself, I'm not sure, man. If you truly are brothers, then through thick and thin, you gonna stay brothers, man. Even if you feel like you might have been slighted. I mean, it's of no fault of Keyshawn that he might be used to get a chance to gain a belt, or he might be used just to get the stick back at him. We never know. But if you truly my brother, then that shit matter. I'm gonna rock with you no matter. I'm gonna be happy for you if you get that opportunity. You know what I'm saying? So he can go on and tell them, war secrets when they actually do make their fight. You know what I'm saying? Like, yo, this is what you gotta respect. You gotta expect this. But it is a great possibility of that being the place, and that Keyshawn gets elevated even greater in status, and then also Shakur maybe not responding well to it. This is what I would hope. I would hope that, they would make the deal for a fight between, Lomachenko and somebody, so that whenever the winners get together, it's for a whole thing. One person bring 2 belts, the other person bring 2 belts, and let's unify it. I mean, let's undispute this bad boy. Let's make it no dispute, no disputations. So I would
Shakur
like
can't
to
get
see that.
mad. My bad, T. Go ahead, T. My
You would
bad.
expect him not to, but I mean, he's human, bro. And think about it, man. He's been pressing for the fight. He think he deserving of the fight. He been at the he been at the division longer, and he done did more. He got more skin in the game. And if he don't get the fight,
Well, it won't be. Shakur can't get mad at Keyshawn if Keyshawn get the fight first, because that all comes down to your promoter. If Bob is able to secure it over Eddie, then I would expect that. I don't think Tank, because he already every time they bring up Shakur, he like that when he said what has he done in the sport, that kind of threw me off a little bit. And again, I rock with all of the young boys, but that kind of threw me off when he said that. What you mean he hasn't done nothing? That's cap.
No,
So
that's not what he said. I mean that's what he said, but that's not what he meant. Like y'all gotta listen to what he said. Y'all gotta listen
what
to
he
the whole
meant then?
statement.
What did he mean?
You gotta listen to the whole statement. What he said was, they asked him about Shakur. He was like, he hasn't done anything. He said the young guys are looking better than him. He said Keyshawn is looking better than him, and Keyshawn hasn't done anything. When he said he hasn't done anything, it means he hasn't brought the eyes. He's not bringing money to the sport. That's what he's talking about. Like, people are not paying to see Shakur. They're paying to see the younger guys. That's why he said Keyshawn is looking better than him, and Keyshawn hasn't done anything. So you gotta
Well, didn't
look at
Shakur
what
do
he's
good?
saying.
Didn't he do good in Jersey? Even though
No,
they walked out and fell asleep, didn't the tickets do good?
no, no.
It didn't
I
do
mean,
over $1
I
million.
mean, it did roughly $1 million. I mean, if you want to say that's good, then I mean that is good to a certain extent. But he's fighting on free TV. So if you getting paid $3 million and your live game only does $1 million, the promoter is losing money. He's
Yeah.
losing money because he still got to pay. He got to pay you $2 more million, and then he got to pay the other fighters that's on that card. So I mean, I know they get money from the network, and the network get money from the views. I don't know how many views he had on that fight. So they get money from the views of people watching the fight when it's on free TV. That's how they get the network gets paid, from the viewership. But far as live gate, they gonna only go by what the live gate numbers is. So when you're taking that to a negotiation table, they tell them, okay, how much money are you bringing to the table? They look at what your live gate is if you don't sell pay-per-view. If you on pay-per-view, they look at the live gate and they look at your pay-per-view numbers. So that's why I said, yeah, he did good in a sense when you say, okay, he did $1 million. Yeah, that's pretty good. But when you look at how big Shakur name, quote unquote, is, it's really not that good of a box office. Like, same thing with Jaron Ennis. Jaron Ennis got paid $3 million for his fight against Kern, or not. I'm not even going to say Kern, against David Ebenezer, according to reports. He got $3 million. Well, that live gate only did $1 million. That wasn't on pay-per-view. So they somewhat lost money. Not really, they didn't really lose money, because I don't know what the viewership was on it. But when you look at the live gate, they lost money.
Yeah. Well, again, I still think that if Keyshawn get the fight before Shakur, then Shakur shouldn't feel no type of way. You did the business that you did. You ran up off a Top Rank. You ran over there to Eddie in Turkey. So, it is what it is. Knowing that they don't got no food like that, you was
No,
still.
but I mean, he had the opportunity to fight Tank. They according to Steven Espinoza. Steven
Yeah,
Espinoza said Shakur
I
wanted a
don't believe
multi-fight deal.
he's a little. I mean, I don't believe everything that Steven Espinoza said. I heard him say that Shakur wanted a. They just wanted to do a one fight deal, and Shakur wanted a multi fight deal, so he didn't
Bro,
take the fight. I don't believe that.
I do. I
I
do.
think I think
Because
Shakur probably would have took the fight.
I'm gonna tell you why I believe it, because Shakur already said that was true. But what Shakur said was it was for 2025. That's where the lie comes in. Why would they be looking to make a fight for 2025 when Loma was the one that just ran out and they was looking to make a fight for Tank Davis this year? They was
Right.
doing a one fight deal for this year, not for 2025. So you got to look at the whole story. I don't just take bits and pieces and say, oh, no, he lied. I look at the whole story. I heard what Shakur said, and it backed up what Steven Espinoza said. The only thing that switched was the date. Shakur said it was for 2025. But he didn't say what Steven Espinoza said was a lie. He just said it wasn't for this year. It was for 2025.
Well, I don't understand why he didn't do that. Then if that's the case, he should have took the fight. I mean,
Again, I'm gonna be like this. If in this climate, bro, in this climate alone, we saw what happened to people who had lost before and where they scale them after the loss. I mean, say for instance, you do take that fight and you take a loss and you don't have no chance to get it back, make it right. You're gonna be a little hesitant to make a fight like that, especially when you're not bringing as much as you possibly can bring to the table because you believe in your talent so much. I think that he wants to make amends by going in there and putting a beat down on two people and then getting that ring and make that match happen. I'm hoping that's what it is, and I believe in 225 it will go down, bro. That's what I'm thinking. But I don't think he did. I just think it wasn't a good situation for him.
Yeah, I mean,
And he was hurt too. On top of that, we can't forget about the fact he was
oh
hurt.
yeah, he was injured, wasn't he?
well, he wasn't injured at that time. He got injured after that because that was before he decided to fight Joe Cordina. According to the reports and what he put on, that video that they put up, he got injured in sparring, getting ready for Joe Cordina. So at that time, he wasn't injured. So he got injured after that.
Well, I mean, I don't understand. I mean, well, I guess if he didn't want to take the fight, I'm pretty sure he had a reason why. But people gonna look at you like you a duck. You know what I mean? Especially these new fans. These new fans are relentless. Everybody's a business manager. Everybody's a promoter. Everybody, it's just crazy. So I mean, Shakur probably did it. If he didn't feel comfortable doing it, he didn't do it. But you know how these fans are gonna be, Shakur. So, when you do things like that, you see what happened to Jerron Ennis. I mean, you seen what happened, how people call you duck. Now you got to get on there and start tweeting a bunch of stuff. Then you got to get on there and try to explain yourself. And then fans don't want to hear that. The internet is undefeated, dog. They don't care about you. You know what I'm saying? They know you got nice chains and watches and nice cars and a nice crib and you got your kids and stuff. These internet people don't care about that. Half of them don't even watch boxing. They're just like trolling on the internet, dog. So,
I mean, and this day and time, when we hear of certain fights as being presented, and we see one fighter didn't take the fight, and these day and times, you got to come out and explain why the fight didn't go down to a certain extent. You ain't got to give all the details, but to a certain extent, you got to explain why the fight didn't go down because you got to remember these people are the ones that's paying for your tickets. They paying for the
Right.
tickets, so. If they look at you in a certain way and they don't want to show some support because they think you move in a certain way, then you losing money. So in a sense, you gotta explain why that fight didn't go down. Now, like I said, you ain't got to give all of the details, but you can say, hey, I was expecting to fight at 47. I'm not ready to move to 54. When I'm ready to move to 54, if that fight is available, I'll take it then. So yeah, you got to explain it, but that's why I say I'm not going to call him a duck because he said he want to stay at 47 and become undisputed or at least unified. As long as that's what you're doing. If you fighting somebody else, No, I don't want to see no other fight. I don't care if it's Tank Davis. I don't want to see it. I want to see you fighting another champion at 47. If not, then go to 54 and fight those guys at 54. That's how I look at it now. I know some people are like, oh, that's Tank Davis, though. That's a big bag. No, there's big bags at 54. There's big bags at 54. That ain't the only big bag. I know Tank Davis is a big name and all, but there's other big bags at 54.
Is there any way we could bring Crush up here?
That was BBO. I don't have the access to do it. BBO gotta pull him up. But I mean, Crush, hit BBO up and tell him to let you up. But the one thing is, does this somewhat eliminate the narrative that Tank Davis is not trying to fight these fights that we want to see him in? Because right now, if you look at the fights that outside of the Lamont Roach, because we know Lamont Roach was a fallback fight, the fights that he reached out to, because he didn't reach out to Lamont Roach, the fights that he reached out to was Loma, Shakur, Rayo, and now Keyshawn Davis.
Well, I mean, I just want to see him fight somebody that's, but not no knock on Lamont Roach or nothing like that, because he sounds confident, but they all sound confident. They all say the same thing, but hopefully, so people can stop talking so negatively about Gervonta. Hopefully he gets some couple big names, get Roach out of there, and that's no knock on Roach, but come on, bro, let's be honest. The majority of us think that Tank is going to win the fight. And then next year, man, we got to get some of them guys in there. You know what I'm saying?
You know what I heard too? And I heard this today, and Thomas Hill was there, who was over on Just Do. Somebody said this, and I laughed at it. The dude said, Lamont Roach is a fight that we know what the outcome is going to be. Then they said, what would you wanted Tank Davis to do? They were like, man, he could have went down his sanctioning body and fought one of those guys in his sanctioning body. Dog, who in his sanctioning body do you think had a chance that was going to beat Tank Davis? I don't know nobody in that. He said he wanted Tank Davis to go down the list of everybody that was in the WBA, in the rankings for the WBA. He could have fought one of those guys, and it would have been better than Lamont Roach, because he said we know what the outcome is going to be with Lamont Roach. Who in the WBA rankings do you think is going to beat Tank Davis? Because I don't think none of them are going to beat Tank Davis.
Who in them? What? I mean, I don't know the names, so I don't want to just start.
I'm gonna give you the names. I give you all the names in the WBA rankings at 135, and I guarantee you, there's not one single person on there that you're gonna say, okay, yeah, that dude right there, he gonna beat Tank Davis.
There's really nobody for Tank to fight at 135 unless it's another champion, because so he can get accolades and make it and get accomplishments. Other than that, I mean, Shakur, are they gonna make it happen? Because every time he seems like he gets annoyed when you ask him about Shakur.
Okay, at the WBA right now,
I feel you, Michael Garner. I feel you.
The number one spot is vacant. So number 2 is Floyd Schofield. Number 3 is De Los Santos. Number 4 is Andy Cruz. Number 5 is Gary Cully. Number 6, I don't even know how to pronounce this dude's name. I don't know how to pronounce number 6, number 7, number 8.
Well, they're irrelevant anyway. Right.
number 9 is Frank Martin, who he just beat. And then number 10 is Muniz.
Yeah, Andy Cruz is a problem for anybody at 35, but I don't think he would be that big of a problem for Gervonta Davis.
No,
with all due respect.
He ain't no problem for Gervonta. That's what I'm saying. Ain't nobody in that WBA ranking system that he can go down and you say, you know what? I think this dude will beat Tank Davis. Not one single person.
You do know what that is lining up to. They rather him fight De Los Santos or fight Cruz. That's who they really mean when they say that.
That's corny.
No, Andy Cruz is less proven than Lamont Roach
and Keyshawn.
He only
But that's
got
what.
four. He only got 4 fights, or maybe 5
And
And I
fights.
don't know that Andy Cruz can beat Lamont Roach. I don't know that. I like Andy Cruz. I rock with the kid. I watched him in the Olympics. He's good. But I
No,
don't know if he can beat. I don't know if he can beat Lamont Roach right now. I don't know
no,
that. And people
I
say, "Well,
don't.
Lamont Roach coming up on 30." The man fight at 35? Didn't he fight at 40 before?
And
Or I'm
and, and
tripping.
that's another problem too,
More
because
fights
every
at 35 than Tank has.
he fought at 35 more times than Tank did. I think he fought at 35 like 6 times. Tank
That's what
only
I'm
fought at
saying.
Tank only fought at 35 like 3 or 4 times. But this is another thing. People was complaining about Tank Davis bringing Lamont Roach up to 35. But I do remember that interview that Lamont Roach did. I believe it was at the DC press conference, or it might have been right before they had the DC press conference. He said before he got the offer to fight Tank Davis, he was about to move to 140 and fight one of the guys at 140.
Yeah, I thought he said something about 40 before. I don't know if he campaigned there before, but I damn sure seen him fight at 35 before. Cause I was shocked when that was like, I was like, damn, I forgot Son moved down to 30. Like, but so I don't want to hear nothing about, oh, he's bringing up a guy in weight. That's
That
only the
man,
casual fans that don't watch boxing will say some stupid stuff like that, because clearly the man is campaigned at 35 multiple times. So if he's able to if he's comfortable at 30 and 35, he wants to campaign between the two. I ain't mad. I'm not giving up no excuses that he
Let
was a
me
smaller guy.
ask
I'm
you
not doing that.
this question. Who was the bigger fighter in weight? I'm going to say in weight when it was between NOA and Stephen Fortune.
Inoue was the bigger fighter.
NOA came down or did he go
No,
up?
he moved up.
Yeah,
He moved up. Same situation. A
Yeah.
smaller weight campaigner is moving up, but maybe a bigger person in general. But except this time, the person that's moving up is still bigger than. They didn't stop NOA for going in there and putting hands on somebody.
right.
Right.
So I
And
mean,
we saw what Devin Haney did. Devin Haney moved up to 140. He was bigger than Regis Program.
And destroyed him.
and then the same people who would criticize Tank will justify the fact that JoJo Diaz fought a couple of times before he got the Devin Haney fight, but he came from 130 and he clearly was smaller.
He fought one time. He fought one
Oh,
time.
one time.
Yeah, he fought what's the guy? The guy that Ryan fought right before he fought Tank. What's his name?
Fonseca, not Fonseca, Fortuna.
Fortuna. He fought Fortuna before he fought Devin Haney. He fought Fortuna. And some people say he lost that fight against Fortuna. So I mean, it is what it is. But I don't look at, because of guys at a smaller weight class.
Who lost to Fortuna?
JoJo Diaz arguably lost to Fortuna.
Oh yes, yeah, for sure.
Yeah, but I don't look at a guy that's coming from a smaller weight class, because, like I said, he started off at 35. He was fighting at 35 for like 6 fights before he went to 30. So it's not like he's naturally a 130-pound fighter. Tank
Right.
Davis started off at 126 and moved up to 30 and then 35. So
Right.
and he had one fight at 40. So
So it
it's not
seemed
like
like
Tank.
Roach would probably be the bigger man.
Yeah. So it's not like Tank Davis is naturally the bigger dude when it comes to Lamont Roach. Tank Davis is naturally the smaller guy in that situation. He's naturally the smaller guy.
That's what
Lamont
I'm
Roach,
saying. So people was just crucifying Tank about fighting a guy, he bringing a guy up and weight and the man, if y'all knew anything, the man been there, done that already at 35. That's why he confident the way he is. He's
yeah.
not worried about being, small and none of that. He coming to fight. Telling
Yeah.
y'all now.
Hey, Andy, Tommy, I don't know if Andy Cruz is the modern day Sweet Pea.
Yeah, I don't want to go that far. I meant
He's
to read that comment.
he's a good boxer, but I wouldn't say he's no modern day Sweet Pea. He's
He got
good.
the moves though. He got some. I rock with Andy Cruz, boy. He gonna be tough at 35, boy. I'm telling you. I like to see him and De Los Santos mix it up.
And I know, Tommy. I know you rocking with your dude. He from Cuba. I understand.
I'm
I know
rocking
you
with him
rocking
too.
I like Andy Cruz, but I ain't gonna say he no modern day Sweet Pea.
Nah, I'm not gonna go that far, but until he proves himself a little bit more, then he has a potential to be like Sweet because defensively he's very responsible, and I just like everything about Andy Cruz. You know what I mean? I'm rocking with him. I can't wait for him to get an
Yeah,
opportunity at a
he
title.
he got rocked his last fight, so
Yeah,
he got some things he got to work on because he got
yeah,
rocked bad.
yeah. He was. That it didn't look good for a little minute, but again,
But no, I mean, no, it's
how
nobody
many professional fights he got free? Andy Cruz.
like five at
That's
the
what I'm
max,
saying.
five at the max.
That's what
That's
I'm
what I'm saying.
saying.
Andy Cruz is less proven than Lamont Roach. So
Right.
if Tank Davis would have fought Andy Cruz, they most definitely would have crucified Tank Davis for fighting Andy Cruz.
Mm-hmm.
They were, oh, Andy Cruz is a two-time gold medalist.
Man, I
That
don't
ain't
want to
got
hear none
nothing
of
to do
that.
with that ain't got nothing to do with the pros.
Yeah, I don't want to hear nothing about that because I seen Terrence Crawford destroy a gold medalist.
That ain't got nothing to do with the pro. I mean, we saw what Tio did to Loma.
Right.
We
But
saw
it
what
wasn't
that
it wasn't as bad as what Terrence Crawford did to that what's that gold medalist name? Whooped. Damn, what's his name? Diaz? What's his name?
Felix Diaz.
Felix Diaz. And I like Felix Diaz. Felix Diaz was sharp than me. But Terrence Crawford proved that when you in a professional level, that gold medal stuff that's like college basketball, bro.
Yeah, I mean, like I said, it's all good and all, but I just look at it at that time when Tank Davis was trying to find somebody because he wanted to fight this year. He was trying to find somebody. Lamont Roach was the last resort because
Literally.
he went to Shakur after Loma ducked out. He went to Shakur. Shakur decided he wanted a multi-fight deal. He went to go sign with the Zone. Hey, so be it. You saw a better opportunity over at the Zone. So be it. He signed with the Zone. He went and tried to get El Rayo. El Rayo came up with this bogus lie that he was rematching Pitbull at 140. He wasn't coming back down. Okay, so be it. So Tank Davis ended up settling for Lamont Roach.
If he
At
didn't
that
have
time,
Lamont Roach, he probably wouldn't have no damn opponent, period.
at that time, Edward De Los Santos, he was injured. He told everybody his shoulders was injured. He couldn't fight. He was like he was injured. So De Los Santos was out of the picture because according to everybody at that time, he was injured.
Yep. So I mean, again, I'm not gonna tear this fight down. I just want to see Javante get in the ring at this point. I don't give a damn who it's against. I just want to see some fights. I want to see the fights. I don't care. I'm glad
gonna
that
be
Roach.
mad.
I'm glad that Roach is getting the
Well,
opportunity.
let me go on and say this too, man, because I'm a good reader of people, bro. One thing that told me is before the Loma talks broke down, the conversation was that boy bet not get in the ring. He dare not get in the ring. He's scared to get in the ring. And then after the Loma breakdowns happened, it was I'm not ducking, he not ducking, the fight gonna happen. And then you align that with the video that I just popped up in there. I just cut down to a clip. It matches up. There is a fight that is in the process of being made. They just got to work out the particulars, whether that means, we got to bring a little bit more to the table. We got to get a little bit more buzz or what. I know that fight will happen. As far as like talking about people in a certain way, saying people ain't done nothing, it is totally nonsense. Shakur would be the most accomplished fighter he would, but he would not be bringing the most to the table to be demanding the most. So we got to take that into consideration. Likewise, if you got somebody in your circle that you fully trust, you rock with, consider a brother, and they behind your back talking about you in an interview, saying that you scared, you shook, and like that, and you know you like that, and they know you like that, it might rub you the wrong way, especially if you're a dude that don't really have many people in your circle anyway. And I think that that's what we get when you hear him talking like that. He know damn well Shakur a great fighter. He know he a top 5 talent. He said so. He said he was one of the most skilled people in boxing. So he know that. We also know that he did some stuff that he considered sucker stuff to him. And sometimes people don't let that go. And it make him a lot more emotional when you're talking about somebody like that, especially when he fighting somebody that I'm fighting. So, likewise,
Hey,
he said,
I'm gonna
It's
tell
kind of like
BBO that.
Keith Thurman, like Earl hate Keith Thurman. He under no circumstances Earl was like, I'll never fight him.
yeah, exactly. And we give Earl the respect of saying, well, dude, that's because the way Keith Thurman did him and how he didn't want to give him no love when he was trying to get up and he was coming up. Also, I will say this, and then I won't say nothing for a while. Bro, Lamont Roach Jr. is a fantastic boxer.
Yes.
Get it twisted. When you think about what you do in the ring to verify you as a great boxer, he checks a lot of boxes, bro. He is also bigger, he's taller, and has a longer reach than Tank Davis. He has great skills, probably the most skills that he's seen in the ring. And I dare to venture to say that almost anyone of his contemporaries has seen in the ring. So let's not just dump on him because we're not
Right.
getting we see Tank to fight. Because if he would have got De La Cruz and whooped him, he would have been cherry picking. If he would have got what's the name, Cruz, and whooped him, he would have been cherry picking. He only got 3 fights. So no matter what Tank do, when he gets those fights like Keyshawn and Shakur, and he does what he does to normally everybody else, they would have been overhyped and all that other stuff just because people hate on Shakur. I mean, hate on Tank, man. Let's not hate on the fighters because of Tank, man. Let's give everybody their due, bro. Let's do that. We've been winning and then losses. Let's give them their due. Let's not treat them like they don't deserve our backing or support or anything like we do other fighters who have lost as of late.
I mean, let's not. I mean, I understand people wanted Tank Davis to be in there with a better opponent. I understand all that, but let's not act like he didn't try to get a better opponent. Everybody just overlooked the fact that he tried to get a better opponent. When Loma was on the table, everybody was like, "Oh, okay, he gonna get Loma." At first, it was, "Oh, Loma, Loma old now, Loma old, this and that." But Loma just fought Devin Haney a couple of months prior. It wasn't like he fought Devin Haney a year ago. He had just fought Devin Haney a couple of months prior. So it's like y'all want to. I mean, I ain't gonna say he did fight. I think he fought Loma last year around the same time. So it was roughly about a year. It was about a year. But Loma just came off of a knockout win over Kambosos, something nobody else done. Nobody else knocked out Kambosos. So everybody was saying, "Oh, Loma looked like the young Loma again. He looked like the young Loma again." So it's not like Loma was just that old and Tank Davis was picking on an old guy. No, everybody was giving Loma praise for stopping Kambosos. Now all of a sudden Loma old, but like I said, it's not like Tank Davis wasn't trying to get a better fight. He was trying to get a better fight. The fights didn't. The fighters, whatever reason they didn't want to get in the ring is the reason they didn't want to get in the ring. So be it. He settled with Roach. Okay, Roach is done, and he's gonna fight Roach. Now we see that they're working on the Keyshawn Davis fight. I'm almost certain is if Keyshawn can get past Barichak. If he can get past Denny, then I'm almost certain
Can talk that talk.
Yeah, that fight is going to happen. It's just a matter of he got to get past Denny because I've always said it. Keyshawn doesn't deserve a fight with Tank Davis unless he's a champion because he's going to get the same thing he's getting right now with Lamont Roach. If Keyshawn get in the ring with Tank Davis and Tank Davis stopped Keyshawn, they're going to be like, well, Keyshawn was still a prospect. He only had 11 fights or 12 fights. He was a prospect.
Right.
They forget about all the talk that was said prior to them getting in the ring, and everybody was thinking that Keyshawn was going to beat Tank Davis.
That's why I want him to get that belt, Free. That's exactly why I want him to get a belt, so they can't say none of that what you just said. They can say, well, he is another champion. Tank said he wanted to be undisputed. Well, in order to be undisputed, you got to collect the belts, right? So here we are. But again, you know what I mean? We got to wait and see. I don't know what Gervonta, like, they move so, like, different. I'm just going to use different. They move different. So you never know what Gervonta is going to do. But like Thomas just said, Thomas just made a bunch of good points. Lamont Roach, we know. Let's not talk like he a bum now. Because y'all just expect Tank to get a knockout or Tank to win. Let's just say we all expect Tank to win, and I expect Tank to win. I'm one of the people that expect him to win. But at the end of the day, I'm not counting out Roach completely because I know that dude can rumble. I know he can fight.
No,
and he got a lot more skill than what he get credit for.
Tank is just like Arthur. Until you beat them, I don't see nobody in his weight class beating him.
That's all.
Just like
That's
Arthur,
fair though.
I said the same thing about Arthur. Until you beat Arthur, I don't see nobody beating him. Everybody, oh, you know, Bivol, he's a better boxer. He ain't been in nobody with the IQ of Bivol. Well, we saw what happened.
Yep.
Bivol was scared to let his hands go because he felt that power. You're like, nah, I'm not getting hit
Kept
like
his
that.
hands in his pocket from like
Yeah.
8 to 12.
So I mean, it is what it is. I don't expect nobody to beat Tank Davis at 135. Maybe
And that's no knock to the rest of you fighters because we're just boxing analysis, and we just we have our opinions.
yeah,
And
maybe
at the end of the day, it's okay for us to say we feel like Javante is the best at 135. Come prove us wrong so that we can get up here on these platforms and say, you know what, man, we was wrong about Lamont Roach. Man, Lamont Roach really, man, I can't believe he smoked Tank like that. And then we'll sit up here and be like, well, I'm not completely surprised because I did know, because I do watch boxing, I did know Lamont Roach is a hell of a boxer, and I don't want to hear nothing about that Jamel Herring fight. That was how old was the boy when they fought? How old was Roach? Okay.
Lamar Roach was fairly young at that time.
Yeah, so I don't want to hear nothing about that. Jamel Herring's an experienced guy at the time, and just for the young boy to jump out the window and gain that experience, it didn't tear his career down. Look where he's at now. He's getting a fight that everybody won. So at the end of the day, if he go in there and beat Tank, I wouldn't be surprised for you. I'd be like, well, you know, I'd be a little shocked, like, damn, Tank, that's crazy. But I'd be like, but Lamont, it's not like he trashed though. Lamont has got some, like Tommy said, he check a lot of boxes, bro.
And that was prior to Jamel Herring fighting Shakur. That was prior to that. Because that wasn't after Shakur, that was before Shakur.
Right. So Jamel Herring is pretty solid, man.
Yeah, Lamar Roach was fairly young at that time. And but like I said, Lamar Roach he's a decent guy. I'm not gonna say he's the best guy that Tank ever got in the ring with, or he's the second best guy that Tank ever got in the ring with. He's a decent dude. He's not a bum or nothing like that. He's a decent dude.
But on the flip side, I still rather see a different fight. I still stand on that. But if I got Roach, if Roach it is, then Roach it is.
I mean, everybody prefer to see a different fight. Nobody really wants to see Shakur versus Kid Austin. They prefer a different fight, but they're settled for it because they know Kid Austin is going to come in there and fight. The same way we believe Roach is going to come in there and fight. Now, what happens on fight night, if that changes, then it changes. But we believe that they're going to come
back at it again, y'all. This time, amazing raffle for the holidays. You know, replenish the pocket. Sometimes things go grim, and you know you spend a little bit more than you anticipated. But we're here to help you out. $5 to get you in, $20 to get you in 5 times. For winner takes half. Hold on. I didn't know that was the details, y'all. Hold on. Cut.
Hey, Remo.
Hey, yo, Karen. Why y'all ain't let me know that the prize was winner takes half? Now, this is dope.
It's been running for some time now, silly.
Is JBT a content creator ought to get into this?
Absolutely not. Are you crazy?
No.
Nope.
Wow, that's crazy.
No content creator, just JBT supporters. Sorry.
Whatever. Bye. Like I was saying, $5 to get you in 1 time, $20 to get you in 5 times. Winner takes half. Can't win if you don't play, man. Jump in the raffle. JBT Network 1 is the way you get in. Leave your name and the means of contact. And enjoy the holidays on us, JBT.
Ho, 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 Merry Christmas.
You gotta stop doing that too, BBO. People talking, you can't be just cutting them off because you don't like what they say.
That was crazy.
Get your big ass up here and talk then.
Now, you know, you got to stay PC because there's some guests that should be coming up here that pretty much on the line with the logic that you're making right now. But let me also say this, that
what's going on, Crush? What's going on, Ant?
I'm going to put going on.
Salute to y'all brothers.
Yeah, and I'm going to put another hoe onto that last hoe that we heard in the segue. It's not half. The winner get all. The Christmas bag is theirs. They ain't got to share with no other people amongst the world. It's gonna be there. Santa's gonna drop it right underneath day tree. Merry Christmas and ho ho ho.
The whole shebizang.
I'm coming for the winner, goddamn. When it takes all, I'm coming. I'm gonna be like, yo, it's been a while since I've seen you. Can a brother get $2? Nah. When it takes all, man. Come on.
Before we get to the main topic, do y'all have anything to say about the Keyshawn and Tank potentially happening in 2025?
Nope. I'm not talking about nothing that's not happening yet. I'm waiting for him to get past votes, man. I'm not really worried about what's too much into the future until it's time to talk about it.
Yo, shout out to D Frito, man. I'm playing the commercial, man. You raggedy mouth rascal. That's all I was doing. Keep doing your thing.
You gotta wait. We gotta wait till people finish talking, though.
All right, I'm gone. Peace.
Peace.
All right.
You know my guy got to control the narrative, D-Free. You know how that goes. I'll say this, though, before we move on, as far as Tank and Keyshawn, I think it would be a fantastic fight. Damn near all of these fights at the world level, they're going to be different fights. We say that whole style makes fights thing. We say it ad nauseum, but how many of us truly believe it? If we did, we wouldn't be trying to crap on these damn fights. We would say that these fights are different and their quality in their own way. That's really what it comes down to, man. Like from Lamont Roach, this dude is a 12-time national championship, national champion in the amateurs. This is a dude who got pedigree. He can fight. Yep. I think that's a good fight. I think Shakur is a good fight. I think all of these fights are good fights in their own right, man. All of them are good fights in their own right, just different. It's like a snowflake. No two are alike.
Right. So let me get to this main topic that BBO want to talk about. And he said, do y'all think that Devin Haney will come back and fight Jaleel Hackett in his fight coming back?
I would say no. Go ahead, Crush. You've been quiet for a while. You start off. Set it off.
I will hope so, because it'll be a good matchup for the young kid, because we got to find out where he's at. We don't know where he at, y'all. So Hackett would be a nice joint. And plus, I mean, since all the smoke is going back and forth, don't waste no smoke. You know, y'all guys gonna throw smoke at each other, then y'all might well mix it. You see what I'm saying? So I would like to see that. So we gotta see what's really going on with Devin Haney, because I don't even know he knows what the hell is going on with him. I passed the mic.
Hey, that's reasonable, Crush. That's reasonable. We don't know what the hell is going on with Devin Haney. Devin Haney probably doesn't know what's going on with him. Even when he was his champion, right? Like he had the opportunity to defend his belt against Sandor Martin. That never happened. So he ended up becoming the champion in recess. So if there's uncertainty within the camp, how can any of us have any inclination as to what he's gonna do next? And that's a tricky fight, man. It's a tricky fight. Because clearly, you know, Dev, he's got the experience over Jaleel Hackett, but we just don't know where Dev is coming off of April 20th. And is that something that you're willing to risk? If you're Team Haney, would you be willing to risk that? If he's gonna come back and, like, let's say, you know, worst case scenario, you would want that worst case scenario to be against another perceived top guy, not a prospect who, you know, lost a controversial decision in his last fight.
Terrible decision.
Yeah, I thought it was a bad decision, but once again, you know how the practice, they're gonna spin it. Well, Jaleel Hackett couldn't even beat Roman in Puerto Rico, so you best rather you lose to that young guy. It just looks bad. So,
well, if we saw the fight, I don't feel like it is as bad as it seems on paper. I feel like the kid got a bad end of a decision. What's that noise, bro? driving.
That's crush. That's crush.
Crush, what the hell happened?
Prize. I'm with you 1000% because you said the operative words. If we've seen the fight, but unfortunately, detractors they don't view things through that lens, man. Case in
I
point,
know.
we
I
were
hate
just
it.
talking about Lamont Roach a moment ago, and I see plenty of people. Well, Lamont Roach lost to Jamel Herring as if Jamel Herring wasn't a
was
champion
trash.
he wasn't a champion who had made several successful title defenses. It's not we ain't talking about a guy who just won a vacant belt and then got his butt whooped and got the belt snatched from him. This is a dude who made several defenses for one. And then also to your point about having seen the fight, he damn near knocked Jamel Herring out in the 11th round, but that gets glazed over when people are looking to denigrate a fighter.
Right.
So people aren't going to say what you just said and be reasonable. Well, you know, the decision should have went Jaleel Hackett's way. They're going to just flat out say, well, he lost to a nobody who was 13-1 in Roman, and he was, you know, this highly touted prospect. That's how they're going to look at it.
Yeah.
They're not going to be reasonable.
It's a shame because he definitely didn't lose. Because if you know about boxing, he clearly won the fight. Because I'll pay somebody to tell me, you show me, what was it, 10 rounds, right? 10 rounds? You show me 6 rounds. I watched it only 2 times. Now, I'm pretty sure some of y'all watched it maybe more than me, but I watched it 2 times for myself. And you ain't going to find me no 6 or 7 rounds to get that boy. I'll pay you to show me 6 or 7 rounds that they gave that man. And I just think it's just bogus, bro. And I told Brian Norman Sr., not Brian, I'm sorry, but Brother Bernard, was it yesterday? I told him that was bogus. You know what I mean? But they don't seem like they was too worried about it. His son didn't seem like he was worried about it. And yesterday, Brother Bernard seemed like he wasn't too worried about it. He looked like he got new fish to fry, and he's going after that. So, you know, man, salute to them.
That should be the mindset, man. Just keep pressing on, looking at it, look at the whole experience as something to, you know, you glean from, you pull from it, and then now you just adjust your approach and you just move forward like that. But again, we talking about detractors here, man. And Devin Haney, he's got a boatload of them at this juncture. He's got a boatload of detractors. So if you met, is that something that you would want to risk losing to him? Or even having it being a close fight, all that would do is give people more fuel to say, well, we told you he wasn't that.
Go in there and
get
my
dog
or
Bentley
something.
said,
You know
look,
what I mean?
Haney couldn't keep the left guard up. It's over with. You feel me? So it's like,
hey, me personally, like I don't think that that's a bad fight. If it does happen, I don't think it's going to happen. But if it does happen, I don't think it's a bad fight. My whole thing is, I want to know where Devin Haney's head is at, because like I said many times before, after getting beaten like that, your mental is going to be rattled. Your mental going to be rattled, and it doesn't seem like he learned from any of his mistakes, because he just banking on the fact that Ryan was dirty.
On the answering, right? I feel you. I feel where you coming from, bro.
I don't know if he learned from any of those mistakes that he made. So that's why I want to see when he get in the ring. I want to see, do we see the old Devin Haney, old Devin Haney that fought George Kambosos, won and fought Regis Prograis, or do we see the Devin Haney that we just saw against Ryan Garcia? Which one do we see?
That's a good question. And I'll say this though, D Free. I mean, here's the other thing. We don't know if I'll say this. I think he has. I'm not gonna say that he hasn't. Because in the recent videos, you see him training, he's working on keeping the right hand up, keeping it in place. So they're clearly drilling on that. But I would say is what remains to be seen is what is his perspective on this? Because on one hand, he might be a little bit shaky and be like, damn, am I going to get caught again? And if I get caught, am I going to get hurt? But if he looks at it from the other end of the spectrum, he could say, well, you know what? Yeah, I got dropped several times, but I still saw the final bell. So maybe I'm a little bit more sturdier than what I had thought previously.
That's
you
how
I
I
look at it that way too.
I think he's gonna come in a little bit better. I think he's gonna be a little bit get back to the basic things that what got him there, instead of fighting a fight that he had no business trying to fight like that. But as you see, when he fought his fight, he was beating Ryan up. Only thing that Ryan did was get knockdowns to make him win. So I don't care about the steroids. I mean, I
Ryan
do.
whooping
I
his
do. I
ass.
don't want to get into it. Everybody know, if you know me, you know how I feel about the steroid thing. So I'm not gonna get into that. But
Yeah.
I think that Devin Haney gonna come in and not worried about that. He might got that, like, you know how like Jalil was. Jalil wasn't seem like too worried about it. You know what I mean? I feel like he gonna come in like that. He working with Nate Jones, was a good trainer, a good
Okay.
responsible trainer, and he's gonna get him defensively more responsible, because that's all that he's really missing. And I know he don't got a lot of pop, but he just win the fight. I like kids like him that's willing to fight anybody. I don't care if Devin Haney finishes his career with 4 or 5 losses, and if he give me some big fights, Tank Shakur, some other fights to make it
No,
welterweight, Barrio, stuff like that, and he win some, lose some, I'm cool with that. Y'all
Mm-hmm.
niggas is weird. Y'all new niggas is weird with these. If you lose one fight, you're done. No, you niggas is goofy.
yeah, I
Well,
mean, go
go
ahead,
ahead,
Crush.
D3.
Go ahead, Crush. No, I was gonna say,
Well,
if you look at this fight, one less knockdown, we're talking about this fight a different way. We're talking about this fight a different way, and I'm almost certain if Devin Haney would have walked out of that fight as a winner, he wouldn't change anything. I'm almost certain he wouldn't change anything because he still won. He's like, yeah, he caught me with the left hook, but I still won.
Yeah, that's fair, man. That's fair. I mean, how often do we see it though? Because here's the one thing, as the old saying goes, bro. Winning covers a multitude of sins. So you got guys that are going there and they become victims of their own success. Might get a little bit stagnant, might get a little bit complacent, and they may not be addressing certain things, or they might be developing some habits that later on down the line they could be detrimental. But as long as they're winning, like you said, it's like, why am I going to change anything? Why am I going to reevaluate my situation if I'm getting the dub? So
man,
spot on with that.
my whole thing is this: I don't care who he's working with. That's good. There's nothing wrong with who he's working with. Trying to get back to himself. Listen, man, all that sound good, but we got to see if he's gonna still be that way when he get hit. Because he's gonna be worrying about getting hit. You think he's gonna come in worrying about getting hit? You out of your damn mind. Look how he act towards the whole situation. I don't care about no goddamn steroids. Leave that crap out of it. Because your fight plan, you was still in the fight, but you start fighting dumb. So them steroids ain't got nothing to do with it. So the man took it bad. And he's rushing himself back in. Because he said he was going to give himself a whole year. And then soon when he seen Turgan, money, he might be coming back a little too fast. It messed with your mental. I don't know if he's there yet. We got to see come when he get back in the ring. Fuck what he's going to do to somebody. How he going to react when he get hit? That's something a lot of guys don't recover from very well, man. They get hit or they get beat up a certain way, they never the same. And because the way that man reacted, I don't even want to get into that. It was horrible. I'm gonna say that. It was very horrible. So I gotta see, man. I'm wishing him the best, but I ain't gonna know what's different. Is it the old him or whatever? It better be a new him.
He didn't get
The old
knocked
him ain't
out. He
gonna work.
got up every time too. Remember that, Crush.
But that's why I
I'm
mentioned
not.
that before, though, Prize. That's why I said, like, he could take solace in the fact that he went 12. So it remains to be
Yeah,
seen whether or not he's gun shy, or if he's like, you know what, I took shots from a guy that
a big
normally slept
puncher.
people. We seen the dude sleep
He's
Romero
a big
Duno.
puncher.
We seen the guy sleep Javier Fortuna. We seen him get Luke Campbell up out of there with a
Sleep
damn
Luke
left
Campbell.
hook to the liver. And Devin
But
got
guess
dropped
what,
multiple times, three times official, but he got dropped multiple times in that
Yeah,
fight, and he kept getting up, and he still fought to a split decision. That's the other
he got
part
a
that's
heart.
remarkable
Because
about that.
Ryan didn't do
But guess
nothing but the
what?
knockdowns. If it wasn't for the knockdowns, He wouldn't have. I don't want to make a bunch of excuses. I don't like to do that. If it wasn't for this, if it wasn't
He
for
got
that.
his ass
But at the
beat,
end of
man.
the
He got
day,
beat up.
people don't like the lawsuit. But you know what? Somebody got to do something about these steroids. If a boxer knows that his ass can be sued,
Oh,
they're not going to be doing them steroids. It got to go. It's going to take for somebody to be unalived, and we be sitting up here crying, "Ooh, Earl, but somebody that cheated one of them Russian boys." If somebody do that, somebody got to do something. I don't care if you sue somebody, go to jail. Rat, call the police. Something gotta
man.
stop. Somebody gotta make a stand and do something about the steroids to make it think, damn, I lost my purse and I'm getting sued. That's crazy.
No,
Niggas
that
gonna
is
think twice to have stuff.
Y'all,
They're
y'all,
gonna be watching
y'all,
really
y'all,
what they put in their
y'all,
system.
y'all got
no.
to stop with that, man. Y'all got to stop with that crybaby whining shit about them little small ass fucking steroids. They ain't do a goddamn thing. You
It's
fucking
flushing
scientists.
yourself, it's flushing your
No,
system
no,
out
no,
with
no, no,
stuff.
no, no, no. What do
I don't
that
want to
got
do
to
this.
do
I
with
don't
the
want to do
boy not
this.
fighting his right fight plan, bro?
Hey,
The boy kept his hand on the fucking line. It's people that got in fights and got juiced up and still got their ass beat. Them things don't guarantee wins.
Yeah,
They
Vargas was on
don't.
steroids. Vargas was on steroids.
When
He got beat up against Oscar. He was on.
when you're a big
In
puncher,
Trinidad,
when
that
you
shit
quick
don't, that
big
shit
like
don't mean
Ryan,
nothing, man.
Hey,
performing
no,
enhancing
And see, that's
steroids
that boy's
definitely.
problem.
I don't want to hear that shit didn't
no,
help. It helped.
no,
I
no,
don't care.
no,
I don't care. Don't
You
test
don't know it
positive.
help. You
It's
don't know it
illegal
help.
to do steroids in boxing.
no,
It's
no.
a,
Hold
that's
on,
why he got
hold on,
suspended.
no, hold on.
He
No, he
didn't
didn't.
get suspended for steroids, dude.
Oh my
That's not
God.
what he got
I'm out. I'm
suspended
tapping
for.
out.
That's not. You can go look it up, Prize. That's not what he got suspended for, dude. Come on, bro. You're not gonna do that deflecting stuff. He did not get suspended for steroids. That's
He
not what he
didn't.
got suspended for.
He
but
got
not report.
That's
suspended.
not what he got suspended for. So stop that, man. That little bit of oxygen didn't had nothing to do with fighting the wrong fucking fight.
But if
Bro,
that,
Stop
it
making a
helps to
goddamn
cycle
excuse for
your
this dude,
system
man.
out. We don't
We
know how long he was on it. The traces
no,
were
So
small
you
because he
can't
probably
say
was
that
just
then.
getting off of it.
no. Listen,
You
listen,
don't
listen,
know
Juiced
listen,
up.
that.
listen.
I don't
The,
care.
the problem with
Steroids are
the
not meant for athletes. If you
no.
cheat,
Listen,
then you're a
it,
cheater.
Yeah, they not, but we ain't gonna make
no,
it seem like that's the reason why somebody lost a fucking fight.
That's not all the way to
no,
the reason, but it's part of the reason.
no.
No, that's
Listen,
the
listen.
main reason everybody's saying that
No,
because
I
that man
feel
took
like
some damn
Devin fought the
steroids,
wrong
man.
fight is the
Hold
reason
up,
he
hold
lost.
up,
The
hold up,
reason
hold up,
shit went
hold
down.
up,
But
hold up.
the steroids absolutely enhance. That's why it's performing enhancing drugs.
No,
But
Enhancing
he didn't get
keyword.
suspended for that though, bro.
But I don't give a
So we
shit.
don't
Well, he
even be tripping
tested
on it.
positive, bro.
But that's
no.
not what he
Listen.
Y'all
got
niggas is
suspended
crazy,
for.
man. I don't
Hold
forget
up,
the
hold up,
suspension.
hold
He
up, hold
popped
up,
dirty.
hold
That's just
up.
like I do construction work. I operate heavy equipment. If I pop dirty, if they decide to do a drug test and I pop dirty, I'm done. You cooked.
Listen,
They don't want to
listen.
hear about, oh, it's a
Man, stop
small
making a
trace.
damn
It
excuse
was
for
point
them
this,
getting his
point
ass
that.
beat,
You
man.
hot or you not? Are you clean or you ain't?
No, listen,
Part of
listen,
this is the
listen.
reason.
The problem is that this is the problem. The problem is Devin fought the wrong game plan, and yes, the man has something in his system. He did have something in his system, but that what he had in his system does not give you the okay to have bad defense. It doesn't give you the okay to have bad defense. Doesn't give you the okay to fight a game plan where you knew you don't win that way. You never won. I ain't gonna say never. The chances of you winning by knockout are slim to none because you haven't knocked anybody out in years. In years. So it's slim to none that you was gonna knock him out. We all knew that Ryan has a heavy left punch. We know that he got a heavy left hook. We know his left hook is a monster. We know that's what is coming. So if you know that's what's coming and you got hit with it multiple times, matter of fact, if the steroids was the reason why he lost the fight, shouldn't Devin be getting knocked out? Because we already know that Ryan can punch. We know that he can punch. So if the steroids was helping, then Devin should have got knocked out. He didn't. He got dropped. He got dropped. He got back up, got dropped again, got back up, got dropped again. He got dropped 3 times, counted 3 times. So the problem is Devin has has to fix the problem in his defense. He had to fix the problem in his defense. Yes, Ryan was on something, but that didn't.
Yeah, I'm not going to disagree with you with that, Free. He couldn't get away from the left hook. He couldn't get away from the left hook.
Yeah, it doesn't give
But
him
I
the
don't
okay
care.
to have bad
When you
defense.
go in there and you test hot, you cook. You don't win to me because James Toney went in there and put on a hell of a performance against John Ruiz, and I was screaming at my TV when Toney was cooking Ruiz. When I found out Toney was popped, I was so pissed off. I didn't even want. I was just beside myself. You know what I'm saying? So and that win is null and void because he tested positive with something. I don't give a what it was. It was this. It was that. The nigga tested with something. It's a wrap. Yes, you're right. He couldn't get away from the left hand. I say the bad game planning because when he boxed, he did good. But when he got into them exchanges, it went wrong for him.
I'm glad you mentioned that because what you mentioning is it's always been around the sport of boxing. It's never going to go away. It's always been around. It's in every sport.
And that's why it's time to start suing niggas now. Because remember, y'all, boxing is a business first. Ain't y'all business owners and what they call them, financial advisors and what else y'all niggas be doing on the internet? Y'all do all kind of stuff. Y'all promoters. I just said it earlier. So, okay, but boxing is a business first. Okay, well, it's business. And in business, niggas get sued if you know anything about business. And that's
well, he lost the lawsuit. He didn't win the lawsuit. So there you go.
No, you can sue all you want. You have to prove that he knowingly took it. You have to prove that he knowingly took it. So suing, yeah, that's fine and dandy. You can do it if you can prove it. If you can't prove it, you just wasting money. Just wasting money. So I mean, I'm not giving Ryan out at all. He cheated and he got the punishment that he got. For whatever the punishment was for, it was because he cheated. Whether it was for him taking performance enhancing or him not notifying them of the supplement he was taking, either one of them.
And the weight. Cheating. Let's not forget about the weight.
The weight ain't got nothing to do with nothing.
The weight ain't got nothing to do with it.
That weight ain't got nothing to do with nothing because Devin didn't have to take the fight. Devin agreed to the weight.
And he agreed to that weight. He agreed to it. So
I hear y'all. Yeah, you're right about that. And I'm with y'all on that. I think all of us agree when you sign the contract, it is what it is. But there's still this nigga just not only did you pop for steroids, your ass ain't even make the contractual weight. Man, miss me with that. Man, miss me with, I want to cuss and I'm doing so good, BBO. I want to raise. And I'm doing good.
Didn't Keyshawn just fight somebody that was 6 pounds overweight?
Yeah, but that guy ain't no Devin Haney or no
it don't matter what
Ryan Garcia.
That don't got nothing to do with it. It doesn't change because of his name.
It has a lot to do with it.
No, it doesn't.
Logan Paul was big as hell, and Floyd Mayweather beat him up.
It does not change because of his name. Is the standard for every single fighter. I don't care what his name is. The standard is the same for every single fighter. So because his name is Joe Blow and his name is Devin Haney is different, no. It's the same standard for every fighter. That's what the problem with a lot of fans.
It's so much
change
stuff.
The standard for certain fighters. No, it's the
so
same
much stuff that I could say right now that I just don't have the energy to do with this argument about this Devin Haney and Ryan Garcia thing. It's so much, but I don't want to extract my energy. I don't want to waste my energy on it.
What happened. Gotta move on from that.
No, all I'm saying is you can't bring the weight into it because he already agreed.
All right, forget the weight.
Yeah, the same thing.
Forget it, period, man.
I'm just saying the nigga didn't do the nigga just violated all kind of rules. I'm just saying, it's just part of the. If I'm looking at it, well, not only did he pop dirty, damn, he was overweight too. He just was a savage that day, huh? You had no regard for the sport of boxing. So you just took a piss on everybody, huh? You just that's some stuff you go to jail for. That's a felony.
No, the problem that I have with this whole argument is people was making a big deal over this situation, but I didn't hear them making that same big deal when Dillian White popped dirty. They were like, "Oh, just suspend him," and they left it alone.
I did.
No,
I cooked Dillian White.
Yeah, you cooked. I'm saying people I didn't say just prize. I said
Man,
people. When it came to Dillian White, they said suspend him, and that was it. They left it alone. When it comes to Devin Haney, they bring this up every single time, and dog, you got to understand. Okay, it happened. You got past. You got the decision overturned. Let's move forward. What are you going to do in your next fight? What are you going to do in the next fight? You need to get past the next fight. That fight is over and done with. You can't change back the hands of time. You can't do it. You got to go forward. So that fight has happened. You learned from it. You should have did what Tank did, but you didn't. You wanted to do it the way you wanted to do it. So now, moving forward, your ass got to keep that right hand up, and you gotta fight the style of fighting that you fight. Don't go in there and listen to your fans and listening to your father thinking you're gonna knock somebody out. You a boxer, and I've been saying this for 2 years now. You are a I don't care if they bored because you boxing. Nigga, at the end of the game, you want to go home with the W, not an L. The fans are going to complain regardless. They're going to complain regardless. They're going to complain about the fact that you was born, or they're going to complain about your opponent. One way or another, they're going to complain.
They can't do nothing. It's nothing they can do. It's always going to be somebody. It's always going to be something. So I agree with you on that one. But you know that they shout out to everybody in the chat. D for the win. GP in the chat. Bentley. You know what I'm saying? That's what we doing. And y'all remember Melon Queen. Salute Melon Queen. And y'all remember it's not half the money. It's all the money.
And also remember, my man Haney is feeling like he's rushing back. There's always a fighter waiting for him, and my man Jaleel Major Hackett. He said he even paid it for crumbs. So Bill Haney, Devin Haney, you got your tune-up right there, man. Go on and tune that young brother up. Make him pay for the words that he say.
Yeah, most definitely. You got to make him pay. That's how I look at it. Young dude talking crazy, show him that he's talking crazy.
Yep.
Are you asking what do I think about Devin Haney and the whole Ryan thing, man? I feel where Prize is coming from, but I also feel like decision making is a part of it. You know, we always talk about the other part. You know, intellect, decision making. I don't necessarily feel like Devin Haney fought a bad fight from a tactical standpoint. But what I do feel is that fight displayed that he may have had, I guess you could say, a little bit of deficiency in his technique. Because when he got caught in the first round, it ain't like he was going out there trying to press Ryan and, you know, brawl with him. He got time throwing a jab. And what is Devin Haney's best asset?
The jab.
His jab. That's his best asset. Many of us, you know what I'm saying? As Lomachenko said, you know, if I know about Devin Haney's jab, you know about Devin Haney's jab, everybody know about Devin Haney's jab. You seen the man put on a master class using the jab versus Kambosos, 24 rounds. It was a jab fest. Jab, jab, jab.
You know how
he tried to jab with Ryan. Ryan timed him through a left hook. That's all. That's all it was to it. He didn't fight a bad fight. He just got timed.
What didn't happen was that great IQ that everybody said that Devin Haney had. If you knew you was getting time with the jab, what you're supposed to do is throw off that timing by throwing feints. You feint the jab and then come right behind that left hook that he's going to throw. When you feint the jab, he throw that left hook, you come right behind it. That's what happened.
He started doing that though. He started doing that in the second round because I rewatched it. He started doing that in the second round. It ain't like he was just out there getting clipped with every single left hook that Ryan threw. But I feel like where his team, where they let him down, is that they didn't prepare for the right hand. If you go back and look at his face after the fight, the whole left side of his face is swollen. So what does that mean? That means that the man was getting hit with right hands.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah,
had a left hook, so you get clipped with the left hook in the first round. Then they did a good job. I think that Devin did a good job of not getting caught with the left hook for several rounds after that. But the issue was there was no preparation for the right hand.
So
then
what you telling me? So what
in
you
the
telling
right
me
hand,
is? So what you telling me is Devin and Bill Haney and the rest of the team that helped train Ryan. I mean, helped train Devin for that fight. What you telling me is they overlooked Ryan's skill.
absolutely, because they said he only had a left hook. He got hit with the left hook in the first round, and he did a good job of evading the left hook from that point on. But then Ryan started landing the right hand, particularly the chopping right hand. And I got to give Bill his credit because there was a moment in the fight where in between rounds, Bill was saying to him, hey, you got to be careful when you slip into your right, because when you slip into your right, he's coming down with the chopping right hand. When I watched Ryan Garcia in the media workout with Derek James, the mitt work he was doing was fantastic because on one hand, he got Ryan used to timing the jab. That was one part of it. Then the second part of it was he got Ryan used to coming down with the chopping right hand. And then he started to layer the offense from there. He started landing the left hook again because he was landing the right hand. But Ryan had that one setup, which was touch. He would time it, touch, then fire the left hook. Once Devin peeped that, he wasn't getting caught with the same setup anymore. Then what's the name started throwing the right hand, and that's like, hold on, I gotta pull up a picture of his face because the left side of his face was just contorted because he was getting hit with right hands. The right hand is really the story of the fight. The left hand is the one that sat him down, but the right hand, that's what Ryan was really eating. So to your point, D Free, yes, they completely overlooked everything else that Ryan had to offer.
Yep.
Yeah. So basically, what that tells me is brings it back all the way full circle. Tank Davis, I don't see him losing to anybody in or around 135. Yeah.
If you look, right side of his face is pretty damn clean, but that left side, he got the chipmunk jaw on the left side. So he was eating right hands, eating a whole lot of them.
And so that shows you the skill level of a Tank Davis and a Devin Haney. Tank Davis don't underestimate nobody. Tank Davis don't underestimate nobody. He takes all of these fighters serious. He might act like he's overlooking them, but that's to throw you off. Tank Davis take all these fighters serious. Where some guys, like Devin, overlook the skill level that Ryan had. They only looked at the left hand. They didn't look at the fact that he got a right hand too. He ain't just a one-arm puncher. He got a right hand too.
Absolutely. You know, like much like Oscar De La Hoya. Oscar De La Hoya was known just fight, especially as his career progressed. He did a fantastic job of setting up the left hand by doing other things. Like, all right, I'm a stab to the body, get you to drop your hands, then straight right hand, then put the left hook behind it. And Ryan Garcia, he had two primary setups for the left hand. The first one was the touch, then left hook, and then the other one was, you know, you come down, I'm a chop, boom, chop right hand, put the left hook behind.
Yeah, no, that's what I said. I said GP in or around 135. In or around, I don't know if anybody can beat Tank Davis in or around 35. I'm quite sure that there is somebody that can beat him. I just don't know of anybody. I mean, all it takes is for somebody to come in on a good day and Tank Davis come on a bad day.
Yep, absolutely. Boxing is volatile like that. I mean, after all, we talking about people getting punched here. So all it takes is the perfect timing, good placement, so on and so forth, and things can get dicey real fast.
Yeah. And it could very well be somebody that we're not even thinking about. Somebody who like, man, you know what? Tank Davis going to dog walk this dude. And that'd be the one dude that catch Tank Davis with a shot that he didn't see coming.
It be like that sometimes, man. Like you look at Aaron Pryor, right? Like Aaron Pryor is, I would say he's the consensus greatest 140 pounder of all. To this day, you can't tell some people.
Yeah.
My damn mic. All right, so I'm gonna use my damn laptop mic. So yeah. So Aaron Pryor is the consensus greatest 140 pounder. You know who the one person he lost to was? A dude named Bobby Joe Young who got like 15 losses, something like that.
Yeah.
It be like that
Yeah.
sometimes. Like shit don't be making sense, part of my language, but sometimes things just don't make sense, man.
Yeah.
Things just don't make sense like that.
That's
bro.
why I've always stood on the fact that it's not the skills that makes fight, it's the person that can impose their skill that makes the fight. Whoever can
Absolutely.
impose their
Application,
skill.
bro.
Because if Tank Davis fought Pitbull Cruz, and a lot of people say Pitbull Cruz gave Tank Davis trouble. Well, then anybody that fights that style that Pitbull fight should give Tank Davis trouble. Well, we saw Tank Davis fight against other guys that fight like that, and it didn't give him trouble. So it's not the skill. The skill the skill set makes the fight. It's who can impose it. Because if you can impose it, then you got one up on that person, because now they got to fight your style of fighting. They're not fighting their style. They're fighting your style. So it's who can impose their skill level.
Yep. And the other part is who is well equipped to deal with various things. You know, who is well equipped to deal with various things. Like the one thing that I like to do when I rewatch fights is I like to see how they start, how they envelop. Like when you see like around the middle of the fight, like are they doing something different tactically, or are they coasting and staying in the same I guess realm, if you will, or within the same gear, staying in the same range.
Mm-hmm.
And then just seeing how things play out that way. Because that's typically where the separation comes in the middle rounds. Or if it doesn't, if you just continue to see more of the same. Right. If you just continue to see more of the same. You know, so that's the one thing about what's his name? About Tank, though. I will say, to his credit, that his team, they do a pretty good job of having him ready to deal with multiple things in the ring. So when you see him in close, he doesn't really look out of his depths. When you see him at range, he don't really look out of his depths. You see him with somebody taller, you see him with an orthodox fighter, southpaw, he doesn't really look too out of his depth. He looks relatively comfortable in various situations. And then you see other guys where they look brilliant. Like Derek James had a wonderful saying, everybody will shine when you allow them to be themselves. Everybody will shine. You allow them to be themselves. Like Shakur Stevenson, right? I think Shakur Stevenson is fantastic. When we see him boxing at range and somebody is being the aggressor, he looks phenomenal. But then we just saw in the Artem fight when he was coming forward, although he was winning pretty handedly, it seemed like there were he didn't really seem as comfortable with his punch selection when he had to make the fight.
Yeah.
When he had to make the fight.
Yeah, he was out of his element.
Exactly.
Yeah.
It don't mean that he don't got the skills, but he just didn't look as comfortable as he does. Like if he's just standing there, because he's mid range, and I just deal with you from here.
Yeah, because he's more of a counter puncher. He's not really a come forward fighter. He's more of a counter puncher. He can come forward if he has to, but he rather for you to bring the fight to him. That way he can sit back and see everything coming and pick his shots.
Exactly. Because that's the one thing I noticed in that Autumn fight, even though he was winning it handily. So I'm not trying to criticize him and say it was like, oh, it was such a struggle, this, that, and the third. But he didn't look as comfortable as he looks when he's allowed to pick his shots, you know, the way that you put it. When he's not allowed to just sit back and pick his shots and he has to go get the guy, he just doesn't look as comfortable. Because when I'm seeing the guy move to his right, and it's like, damn, like why the hell is he trying to throw a left hook, or why isn't he sliding over there to beat the guy to the spot to try to cut him off and just do little things like that?
Right.
You can tell he just clearly didn't look as comfortable.
Yeah, I see what you're saying, GP. I look at Keyshawn Davis the same as I look at Frank Martin. He has all of the tools to be able to beat a guy like Tank Davis. He just doesn't have the experience yet. I don't think he has the experience yet because, like I said, Tank Davis, he studies his opponent. He's going to know every weakness that Keyshawn has. I don't know if Keyshawn going to be able to see every weakness that Tank Davis has. I'm not saying that he doesn't. I just don't know if he will be able to see every weakness that Tank Davis has. And Keyshawn still has holes in his defense. And I think Tank Davis, he's going to expose those holes that Keyshawn has in his defense.
I'll say this though. The one thing I do like about Keyshawn is that Keyshawn is one of those guys that he doesn't shy away from physicality. So in a sense, that affords him to be a little bit more offensive. Like if you watch Keyshawn fight in his last 3 fights or so, he's been doing a fantastic job with the control game. So he's limiting what the other guy's throwing back, and that affords him to operate more from a sense of deduction as opposed to just flat out reflexes. So it's like if I'm controlling your left hand, naturally you're gonna choose the path of least resistance, which means you're gonna throw a right hand. So I'll be ready to defend that. I'm ready to deal with that. And Keyshawn is getting a lot better at that. And I gotta say, where I first noticed it was the fight with Pedraza, then the fight with Medueno, and then Keyshawn. Another thing with him too is he's not one of those guys where he's gonna let you off the hook. Kind of like how Tank is. Like, even if it seems like he's not watching, he's gonna strike. If you throw something and you put yourself out of position, he's looking to fill that void with a shot. It's not like Shakur. Like, I think Shakur is a good counterpuncher, but there are some times where he gets too defensive to the point where he sacrifices offensive opportunities. Where it's like he'll make a guy miss and he'll hop out of range, but now he's a little bit too far out of range to where he can't come back with a shot. And Keyshawn is kind of like Tank in a sense where he'll take a step back, but it's just enough to make your shot fall short, but he's still able to touch you. And I think that's what'll make that fight very interesting. And also, I just think with his physicality, he's becoming more adept on the inside. I think stylistically, if I'm looking at Keyshawn at 135 next to Tank, I think he's shown some of the more well-roundedness and just being more complete. I still think that Shakur, in terms of getting guys to do what he wants them to do, he is absolutely fantastic at that. Like he's elite in that regard, and he has fantastic vision. But Keyshawn, it's like if you want to fight on the inside, he could fight on the inside. You want to fight on the outside, he's got the arm length, he's got the shot selection. I also love Keyshawn's decision making, and that's another reason why I feel like him and Tank would be a really good fight. Now, the one thing that was a little bit questionable to me with Keyshawn is down the stretch. It's not so much his defense. I don't know if it's his conditioning. I don't know what the hell it is, but in the fight with Medueno, he looked a little bit wary down the stretch. Not that he started losing the fight, but the punches, they didn't have the same steam that they had on him. Down the fight.
And that's why I think it plays a part, because even if those guys, like if you notice, Tank Davis was all those guys that's oversized or big punchers, for the most part, he take them to the second half. Once he get them to the second half, those punches don't have that steam on it that they had in the first couple of rounds. So Tank Davis can take that punch a little bit easier, and he can sacrifice a punch here to let his punch go, because Tank power carries.
It carries. I agree with that 1,000%. Because Barrios, he stopped him in the 11th. He stopped him in the 11th. So his power does carry. Hey, I can't disagree with that at all.
And Gamboa, he stopped him in the 12th.
He stopped him in the 12th too. Yeah, that power carries with him. And that's the one thing I would say about Keyshawn. If I had to nitpick and look at him, I would say that fight with Medueno, when I was looking at the back half of the fight, he didn't have the same steam. He looked a little bit wary. Even his movement, he looked like he was lagging just a tad bit. He was still dominating the fight, so I don't want to get it messed up. He was still dominating the fight. But if I'm just looking at him, irrespective of his opponent, he just didn't look like he had the same steam, the same vigor. He didn't have the same vigor in the back half of that fight. And another fight where I noticed it too was the Nair Albright fight when he got clipped in the 8th round.
Yeah,
when he got caught on the chin, he did hold on for quite a bit, which I'm not knocking him because you got to do what you got to do to survive. But he did hold quite a bit. So I'm not sure if he gets clipped with a shot from Tank, if he continues to let his hands go the same way, or if he continues to
and see that's another thing. Like, I think in order for somebody like Keyshawn, because Keyshawn does have power, I think Keyshawn has to fight from a distance in order to beat Tank Davis. If you let Tank Davis get on the inside, you might can fight on the inside, but Tank Davis wants you to fight on the inside because now he can wear that body down to where those punches in the later round is not as hard as it was earlier in the fight. Like I said, Tank Davis, he has that different type of power. Like, even if he's tired, you can't tell he's tired because his punches still have the same effect. You don't know. It's almost like Arthur in his fights. Even though we see Arthur look like he was getting beat up in times in certain fights, he still had that same power in the later rounds. Like, oh yeah, ain't nothing you can do with it. He just got that God-given strength that where even when he's tired, he hits you with a shot, you're gonna go down, or you're gonna feel it, and it's gonna make you hold your punches to yourself.
And neither guy has to recoil much too. That's the other thing too. Like, the one thing that a lot of these guys say after fighting Tank is he didn't really hit me that hard, but it was the accuracy. And he's even said it himself. Like, after he knocked Rolly out, he said, I didn't even really throw it that hard. It's just the placement. You know, I literally just walked him into the shot. So I think that's a fantastic point too.
Yeah, if you go back and watch that,
have good power.
Yeah, if you go back and watch that shot that he hit Rolly with, he wasn't trying to knock Rolly out. He threw a shot and was trying to get out the way because Rolly was coming forward. Rolly was coming forward. He had his backs to the ropes.
He was rolling out weak side. Caught him with the left hand and rolled out to the right. Rolled out weak side.
Yeah, he wasn't trying to knock him out with the shot. He was just trying to get out the way.
But these compact punches with concussive snapping, it usually has that effect. You know what I'm saying?
That's another thing. Like, I see he said throw a million punches. Like, Tank Davis is not the person that you want to throw a lot of punches with. He's not the person you want to throw a lot of punches, because you throwing a lot of punches, you leave yourself open. Tank ain't going to throw a lot of punches back at you. He's looking for the perfect shot. That's what he's looking for. He's looking for the perfect shot. So with a guy like Williams Zepeda, who likes to just throw a bunch of punches, he doesn't care if it lands or if it's the perfect shot or not. He just like using offense. He's a bad fit for Tank Davis, because Tank Davis is going to set him up. He's going to catch him in between shots. Tank Davis is going to throw the high guard up and let him throw his shot. And once Tank Davis see an opening, Tank is quicker than majority of the guys at 135. Once he see that opening, he's going to strike. And when he strike, 9 times out of 10, you're going to be getting up off the canvas. I don't know if you want to throw a lot of shots at Tank.
And then I think the other risk that you run with throwing a lot of shots is becoming repetitious. You know, you start throwing certain punches in a particular succession. Now you're creating a pattern for yourself.
Yeah.
And I would say he is one of the best at detecting patterns, because that's all timing is pattern recognition. And sometimes it don't even got to be a punch being thrown. It could be something as simple as like, okay, you're reacting a certain way to a feint. And then it's like, all right, if I change levels and you drop hands, the guy is very observant. So even if he doesn't react on it right away, just know there's a good chance that he's got that ace in the hole. But I think that Keyshawn is, from what I've seen from Keyshawn, I feel like he's put on some pretty damn complete performances as of late. In particular, his last 3 fights, man, he's shown a lot of growth overall. But
I think it's going to be a good fight with if they do make that fight. I think it'll be a good fight for as long as it lasted, because I think somebody's gonna get knocked out. I think somebody's gonna get knocked out. I don't know
Oh,
who
yeah.
it is, but I'm leaning towards Keyshawn getting knocked out. But I wouldn't be surprised if Keyshawn knock out Tank, because Keyshawn, he's a hell of a fighter. He got power, and like I said, he has all the tangibles to be able to beat a guy like Tank Davis. Is can he put everything together on that special night? If he can, then he can very well raise his hand victorious. But if he can't, then we know who 9 times out of 10 is going to be raising their hand.
That's a good question. It's a very good question. You know, can he put it together on the night, and not just put it together from a physical standpoint, the X's and O's standpoint, but also, you know, mentally, man, mentally being able to get your body to respond, because performance anxiety is a real thing. It's a huge thing. And one thing we notice with certain guys like a Tank or even like Floyd, the looser they get in a fight, the better they perform. That's a sign. Like most people, you wouldn't want to see them talking to somebody outside the ring. But a guy like Floyd, a guy like Tank, like once they start talking to people outside the ring, and then they're starting to have fun, and
they're in the zone. They're in the zone.
To them, it's no different than being in the gym. They don't even notice the crowd at that point. Now they're just in their element. So you want him to be thinking about the crowd like you thinking about the crowd. But if he starts getting loose and you can tell he's just having fun in there,
he telling your daggone trainer to shut the hell up. He telling your trainer to shut the hell up. You be like, oh shit.
That's when he's at his best, bro. Like that's when he's at his best.
When he said that to Rolly Trader, he said that to Bullet, man, I laughed. You're like, shut up, bitch.
But I think that's a good fight. I think that Tank and Lamont Roach is a really good fight, man. I think it's a really good technical matchup. Yo, the more I watch Lamont Roach, the more I like his style, because he's just so savvy. He's got one of those styles where you gotta watch him in slow motion. Like I don't feel like watching him in real time does him any justice, because you got to look at a lot of the little subtle things that he does, man. He's got really good habits in the ring.
And see another thing with Lamont Roach is, I think Tank Davis respect Lamont Roach a little more than he respect these other guys that he's fighting, because they got history. So he respects them a little bit more. Like Keyshawn, he don't like Keyshawn. He don't like Shakur. He don't like Devin. So he's going in there with bad intentions with those guys. But with Lamont Roach, it's not so much bad intention. He's still going in there to win, but it's not like he's going in there as a straight animal. Now, his entourage might twist that switch and make Tank Davis turn into that animal, because they're talking. So Tank Davis like, all right, it's going to be bad on him. Y'all keep talking, it's going to be bad for him. So I think that's the difference why I think this fight is going to be a little bit more competitive than people think, because Tank Davis has respect for Lamont Roach because they came up together.
Yes. And in addition to that, he knows that Lamont got skills, man. The guy got pedigree. The guy got some sneaky power. I'm not saying that he's Deontay Wilder. He ain't Julian Jackson or nothing like that, but he's certainly one of those guys where he's crafty enough to catch you with a shot that you don't see. One shot in particular that he has in his arsenal, he's got that no-look hook down pat, similar to like Danny Garcia, where he'll slip off the line as you throwing the shot, and then boom, something short and crisp is coming. It's right on the button. It's coming right on the button.
So I think a lot of people get caught up in looking at how many knockouts he got. Yeah, he's not a knockout artist, but he does have sneaky power. And Tank even said that. He said, "Yeah, I know you got sneaky power. You got sneaky power."
He does.
He's not a knockout artist, but he has that power that if you're not paying attention, he's going to catch you, and you ain't going to know that he punched like that.
Oh yeah. He definitely don't got the type of power where if guys are braced for it, he could just get them up out of there anyway. Like that's God-given power. When a guy can see the shot coming and he's still just get drilled and he's just out of sorts. That's a different type of power. But to your point, he can catch you with something you don't see. And the one thing I noticed with him is he does have certain shots at his disposal, namely that no look left hook. Like when he slip off the line, he get his head off the line and he throw that hook. Man, that's how he got what's his name? That's how he got Jamel Herring. He got Hector like that.
Oh, yeah.
He also got
Jamel
Jamel Herring. Yo, he caught Jamel Herring with a shot. Jamel Herring, like his legs just locked up. Like when a guy's legs just lock up.
Mm-hmm.
He's sneaky, man. He's crafty. We got so many of these. We got so many good fighters right now. I feel like it's a shame that we got to denigrate these guys all the time. Because truth be told, most of these guys, they're fighting around the same level of competition. But unfortunately, when you have a certain level of celebrity, you're not going to be graded on the same scale or on the same curve.
Yeah,
I think expectations.
I think my man Knockout said something that actually made some sense. Mm-hmm. He said he don't think Tank Davis is going to retire. He thinks Tank Davis just said that so he can get the fights that he want and the fights the fans want. Because if people thinking Tank Davis is going to retire at the end of next year, they want to hurry up and get that bag because they know Tank Davis is the biggest payday. They're gonna try to hurry up and get it and be next in line to fight Tank Davis before he walk out that door. So it kind of made a little bit of sense. I'm like, okay, if he doesn't retire, then what Knockout said is absolutely true. He said that to get these guys to line up because now we're hearing Keyshawn. We're hearing Keyshawn is in the talks. And at first, Keyshawn wasn't in the talks. We didn't know that Bob Byrne was trying to make that fight with Keyshawn. So now we're hearing Keyshawn is in the talks. We heard Shakur saying he wanted to get that fight in 2025. Loma's supposed to be coming back next year. Maybe Loma say, you know what, let me go ahead and get this big payday before he walk out the door. So, I mean, we'll see. I don't know if he's going to retire or not because he said this before. He said this a few years back. He said, when I turn 28, I'm done. Well, he's 30 now. He's still fighting. So I don't know if he's going to retire now. I mean, we'll find out at the end of 2025 if he had that fight in December and he said, you know what, this is my last fight, I'm done, and he walks away. We'll find out. And it very well could be the fact that he had another daughter because he got two daughters, and he said he don't want to be this hard dude in front of his daughters. He wanted to show a little bit of that softer side when it comes to his daughters because he said he got to put himself in beast mode when it's time for him to get ready to fight. So, I mean, I kind of understand him because when you're dealing with little girls, you got to be a little more sensitive with those girls than you are with boys. Because if he had two boys, he probably wouldn't be talking the way he's talking right now.
No, man, you gotta spoil them too, man. You gotta spoil them too, so they don't grow up feeling like they don't got their dad's approval. I feel like that's one of the biggest disservices that we could do to our sons is to just be super hard all the time. You know?
Oh no, yeah. You're gonna show them love, but it's not the same type of love you show your daughter. Like you show your son love and spend time with him, but with your daughter, it's a little more softer. It's a little more softer because even though you showing your son love, you still gonna show him that he's a boy. He's gonna be a man at some point. So you don't want him to be too soft. So it's a little different. It's a little different because like my father always. I was the firstborn, so I was always with my father. So he loved me to death. He loved all the kids to death. But with me, I was always with him, and he showed me a lot of love. But when it came to my sister, no, my sister got whatever she wanted. It was like she never got a beating, none of that. All he got to do is yell at her, and she'll go in the room crying. With me, oh no, he got to get the belt out. So I mean, it just a little bit. Oh, you say he had a boy? I thought he said he had a daughter. I thought he said at the press conference that he had a daughter. He said he just had his second daughter or something like that. I could have sworn that's what he said at the press conference. Maybe he misspoke, but I could have sworn that's what he said.
Yeah, but you know how it is a lot of times with the boys, man. You got a lot of young men who grow up and they never get to hear, "Hey, son, I'm proud of you," or "I love you."
Yeah,
Because
yeah.
it's like, I came home, right? I put food on the table, right? I put
Yeah.
clothes on your back, right? So that must mean I love you. And it's like,
Yeah, because
sometimes
I get
to,
like that. I get like that
I
with my
need to
son
hear that.
sometimes.
Gotta feel that. You know what I'm saying? So
Yeah, I get like that sometimes with my sons. I won't say it. They and they say it to me and I say it back to them, but I don't just go to them like I love you, this and that. But with my daughters, I say I love you to them all the time. So I kind of understand it, but my sons know that I love them and they know I do anything for them because I've already proved that many times over that no matter what, if you call me, if I got it, I'll make sure you got it.
I tell both of them, man, my daughter and my son, because the one thing that I want him to be is, fair and compassionate and all of those, the good virtuous things. But needless to say, I agree with your point. I think that it's extremely reasonable. As I always reference this interview because I feel like it's one of the best boxing interviews I had ever seen. But Floyd Patterson, he did an interview in 1985, and that was one of the topics that he covered.
Mm-hmm.
The choice to retire, and he was saying that when he fell in love with his wife, it don't even have to be your kids, but like whenever you fall in love with anything else, and it becomes as important, if not more important, than being a champion and this, that, and the third, that's when that spark starts to dwindle. And then once that starts to dwindle, it's time to get the hell up out of the game, man. And
it's almost like I put it this way. It's almost like when you get a new video game. You used to playing NBA 2K24, but 2K25 come out, you get that, you don't even want to look at 2K24 no more. You stuck on 25 now. So it's almost in that sense when you get something else that you want and you want to spend time dealing with, you don't care about the other stuff no more.
All your time is occupied at that point. All your time is occupied. Yeah. And then I'm pretty sure it's probably a cathartic experience too, being around his children. Keith Cologne was on Just Du's channel the other day. Shout out to my guy Just Do. And one of the questions was like, who do you like to watch? As far as boxing is concerned, he was like, yo, to be honest with you, I don't even really like to watch boxing. I heard Arthur Beterbiev say something similar. He's like, yo, I train so hard. I do 2 a days. Like when I'm in camp, I do 2 a days. We're in the gym 6-7 days a week on most occasions. So by the time I'm out of the gym and I'm done training, I'm done sparring, I don't want to think about boxing. I'm just trying to decompress. So I could only imagine that spending time with their children or their family or engaging in other hobbies that they have outside of the sport, that's an opportunity for them to decompress. Like, I don't got to think about running no miles. I ain't got to hit no bag or no pads. I don't got to punch nobody. I don't got to get punched. I don't got to think about making weight. I'm just chilling right now. So if it's being with the girls, it's tea parties and Barbie dream house, all that stuff. And I don't got to worry about any of this other stuff right now. I ain't got to watch what I'm eating. I could have a hamburger and some greasy French fries. I don't got to be some bland salad and
because I did an interview. I know exactly what you're talking about with Arthur because I did an interview with his trainer, and we was asking him about would he want to fight. When that fight was presented about, I think it was either David Benavidez or Canelo Alvarez. How did Arthur feel about taking that fight? He was like, to be honest with you, Arthur don't know nothing about it. He said Arthur don't watch no boxing. He said when only thing he worry about is when he got a fight lined up, he trains for that fighter. After that fight is over with, he don't pay attention to boxing no more. He said David Benavidez, it was David, that's who we was talking about. He like David Benavidez can walk past Arthur. Arthur wouldn't know who the hell he is. Like, he don't watch boxing.
So like training, bro. He probably burnt out by the time he's out of the ring. He ain't trying to hear about that.
Yeah.
He ain't trying to hear about that, bro. He's
Jaime does have a fight this weekend. Yeah, he does. Jaime does have a fight this weekend. I forgot what platform is that on.
It's gonna be on Top Rank, man. It's so
Yeah,
probably
that's why he did sign with Top Rank.
Mm-hmm. He's fighting this dude Bruno Sarase.
Sarace or something like that.
I can't pronounce the guy's name. I don't want to butcher his name, but please, Bruno, if you see this, don't.
Yeah,
don't be offended.
He's 25 and 0-2.
25 and 0. Yep.
25 0-2.
Only thing I'm looking at right now though is what can make this a little bit dodgy, man, is the fact that the brother only got 4 knockouts to his credit. So
I'm looking at that now. Yeah,
25 and 0 is nice, but only 4 knockouts. But then again, you never know what could happen. This is boxing. I remember I was heartbroken, bro, when my dog James Kirkland got stretched by Ibero Ashita. Remember Ashita?
Yeah.
That was fighting at 154. The dude only had like 6 knockouts in 30-something fights. And I was like, there's no way in hell he gonna stop James. And that's exactly what happened. James got stopped by a dude who had 6 knockouts in like 32 fights, bro.
I'm trying to see who's on the undercard, because it's a fight on tonight. Matter of fact, it's a Canadian fight on tonight. I don't know who these dudes is.
I'm about to see what's popping with it.
It's a fight on. I think it's on right now.
Yep.
It's in Toronto.
We were supposed to be getting Ronald Gravell, man. That's who Jaime Munguia was supposed to be fighting, but for whatever reason, Gravell dropped out of the fight.
Yeah. There's a 158-pound super welterweight. Bati and Lima. Bati versus Lima.
Yep.
But that's on right now, or if it's not on now, it's coming on. But
I think started 2 hours ago. I got it on right now. I'm about to see what's popping with it.
Yeah, I think Jaime probably gonna get the stoppage. This dude, he only got a 16% knockout ratio.
Yeah.
I can't see fights like that. You be wanting to bet the underdog so you can get the big payout, but you almost know without a shadow of doubt how this fight going to end. The only way you can really get something is if you bet what round Jaime gonna knock him out. And they got these other girls that's fighting Ortiz. She's 34 and 6, and she's fighting somebody that's 4 and 0. That's on the undercard. These 2 girls. But we're going to get up out of here. We've been on this joint for just about 2 hours. I appreciate everybody that came through. Shout out to Ant, Thomas, Prize, Crush. Shout out to Bentley, GP. Shout out to D for the win. Melanie Queen, Ace. Appreciate everybody that came through. If you catch us on the playback, make sure you hit the like button. And if you're not subscribed, subscribe to the channel. It's your boy D Free. BBO Boxing, and we be out of here. Peace.
Hey, everybody have a wonderful day, man. Excellent boxing talk, man. Hey, shout out to D Free, shout out to Prize Fighter, shout out to my man Crush, the Mickey Freaky Legend, shout out to the loquacious and ubiquitous one, Aunt McQueen, and shout out to the chat, shout out to the boxing world, and let's get it.
Ladies and gentlemen, hailing from Cleveland, Ohio, I give you BVO.
Oh, we boxing? Yeah, we boxing. I need that belt like it ain't no other option. So we punching and weaving and blocking. Defeat ain't an option. Let them know. Shoot a video, put it on BVO. Let them know.
I used to give Bill a lot more kudos. I said, well, Bill came from the street because we do know a lot of the same dudes in the street, because that's how he got in touch with me. When it didn't work for him to go to Leonard, he called dudes that we knew and had them get us together on a three-way call. That's how bad he wanted to get Jalil off his ass. I thought Bill was a little more than that, but I'm realizing he can't teach Devin to be anything but a sucker when he ain't nothing but a sucker. You ain't never seen a pimp fight a man. You seen a pimp fight a woman. And that's all Bill is old fake ass pimp. He talking about this the second Bernard that's delusional. The first Bernard caught his ass in the motherfucking ring at the ringside, and this nigga refused to go to the bathroom with B-Hop. Oh, we could do this right here. Oh, suck ass nigga. That's
The JBT is back at it again, y'all. This time, amazing raffle for the holidays. You know, replenish the pockets. Sometimes things go grim and, you know, you spend a little bit more than you anticipated, but we're here to help you out. $5 to get you in, $20 to get you in 5 times for winner takes half. Hold on. I didn't know that was the details, y'all. Hold on. Cut.
Hey, Remo.
Hey, yo, Karen, why y'all ain't let me know that the prize was winner takes half? Now, this is dope.
It's been running for some time now, silly.
Is JBT a content creators ought to get into this?
Absolutely not. Are you crazy?
No.
Nope.
Wow, that's crazy.
No content creator, just JBT supporters. Sorry.
Whatever. Bye. Like I was saying, $5 to get you in 1 time, $20 to get you in 5 times. Winner takes half. Can't win if you don't play, man. Jump in the raffle. JBT Network 1 is the way you get in. Leave your name and the means of contact. And enjoy the holidays on us, JBT. Peace.
Ladies and gentlemen, hailing from Cleveland, Ohio, I give you BVO.
Oh, we boxing? Yeah, we boxing. I need that belt like it ain't no other option. So we punching and weaving and blocking. Defeat ain't an option. Let them know. Shoot a video, put it on BVO. Let them know. Every time I punch, it's a heavy blow. BVO, bound to hit like bricks cause it was set in stone. Let them know. I ain't getting body, but I'ma hit the